Blizzard warning, emergency weather briefing, now on Weather Buff. I am Jack Knack, the weather medic, the doctor of weather, with a blizzard warning for Buffalo and Western New York. Some of the parameters of this intense storm are climatologically off the charts, such as barometric pressure and strength of both the low and upper level winds. One could certainly describe this storm system as a once-in-a-generation type of event. Subtle differences remain, but there remains general model agreement in this above scenario happening. As of the time of this video upload, the following watches and warnings were in effect. Blizzard warning remains in effect from 7 a.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday for Niagara, Orleans, Erie, and Genesee counties. Blizzard conditions are expected. Total snow accumulations of 1 to 3 feet. Winds gusting as high as 70 miles per hour Friday and Friday night. A rapid switch from rain to snow with sharply falling temperatures into the teens and single digits will result in a flash freeze on Friday. Blizzard conditions will develop Friday afternoon, lasting into Saturday night. Travel will be extremely difficult to impossible at times. Widespread blowing and drifting snow could significantly reduce visibility to zero. Very strong winds could cause extensive tree damage and numerous power outages. The bitter wind chills as low as 10 to 20 degrees below zero could cause frostbite on exposed skin in as little as 30 minutes. Travel is strongly discouraged. If you must travel, have a winter survival kit with you. If you get stranded, stay in your vehicle. But remember, the authorities might not be able to get to you. So hopefully you have a full tank of gas. If you do get stranded, run the heater intermittently, stay warm, bring some food, see if you could survive this until conditions warrant where first responders can get to you. We also have a lake shore flood warning in effect from 7 a.m. Friday to 7 p.m. Saturday. This is for significant lakeshore flooding expected. The lake level at Buffalo may be more than 4 feet above flood stage. Models are showing wave heights over 15 feet in Lake Erie. The impacts, the rapid rise in water levels will result in significant lakeshore flooding along the Lake Erie and Upper Niagara shores. Along the Lake Erie shore, expect flooding likely along Route 5 in Hamburg, the Buffalo Harbor, Canal Side, Buffalo Riverworks, Dunkirk Harbor, Hoover Beach in Hamburg, the Old First Ward in South Buffalo, and other flood-prone locations. Along the Niagara River, flooding is likely to affect Grand Island, Cayuga Island, and the LaSalle Expressway ramps. Very high wave action will also result in significant shoreline erosion. So if you're in this area, the lakeshore flood warning means that the lakeshore flooding is either occurring, imminent, or expected to occur. For your safety, stay off breakwaters, piers, rock outcroppings, and beaches. Waves are larger than they appear and can easily wash you away. Expect significant beach erosion and debris, local road closures, and extremely dangerous boating conditions. If you live in these flood-prone areas, prepare a travel bag in the need of a quick evacuation. Now let's get back to the story timeline of this storm. For Thursday night, Friday morning at dawn, Strong southeast downslope winds Thursday night in the lower elevations along Interstate 90 and the Lake Erie shoreline in Chautauqua and southern Erie counties, where the winds there will be southeast at 30 miles per hour with gusts to 50 miles per hour. Where elsewhere, including Buffalo, winds will be east, veering to southeast and then to south by dawn at 10 to 13 miles per hour with gusts to 25 miles per hour. Steady temperatures Thursday night due to the moderately strong warm air advection into the area. The temperature should stay around 40 degrees Fahrenheit through dawn Friday. Rain will continue through Thursday night, Friday morning through dawn, with most areas receiving between 1/4 and 1/2 inch of rain. Friday, well, on daybreak Friday, a sharp Arctic cold front will be entering western New York right when the sun comes up. Along with the cold front, expect an abrupt change from rain to snow. A few inches of snow could occur, then conditions will worsen as temperatures free fall into the teens and lower 20s by early afternoon and single digits by nightfall. However, Buffalo, northern Erie County, and much of Niagara County will only fall into the teens by dusk, as lake effect keeps these temperatures a bit warmer, with the trade-off being more snow in those areas. Expect a rapid freeze of the snow and any slush leading to icing conditions. An even bigger note will be the winds, as strong cold air advection winds sustained to 40 miles per hour from the southwest, with gusts up to 60 to 65 miles per hour over far western New York and 50 miles per hour plus elsewhere, producing wind chills by dusk of -5 to -10 degrees Fahrenheit in the lake effect areas mentioned above, and -20 to -25 degrees Fahrenheit for the rest of the area. These winds will have the potential to produce damage and will combine with increasing snow late in the afternoon to result in widespread blowing and drifting snow with localized blizzard conditions. Getting into Friday night through Saturday morning, well, this is when the worst conditions in terms of a combined hazard from heavy snow, blowing snow, drifting snow, and at least localized blizzard conditions will occur. Travel will be very difficult, but more likely impossible where the heaviest snow and strongest winds are occurring. Winds look very strong on Friday night at 40 to 45 miles per hour sustained, with gusts over 65 miles per hour, producing wind chills of -5 to -10 in the lake effect areas mentioned above, and -25 to -30 for the rest of the area. This is the period when wind damage will potentially be the highest and power outages could become widespread. This is a real concern, especially with the cold temperatures expected for the holiday weekend. Outside of these areas, a few inches of snow will impact the remainder of western New York. In terms of estimates for snow amounts, it looks like the models have come into agreement that the heart of this lake effect snow band will be centered from downtown Buffalo north to Tonawanda Creek, with the bullseye being North Buffalo, Kenmore, Amherst, Clarence, Akron, into northeastern Genesee County and into Orleans County. And this is going to be fixed through this location through most of Friday night. Although storm totals will be significantly more than forecast yesterday, expect amounts in the 6 to 15 inch range across the Niagara frontier through Saturday morning. Although this will be more than enough to result in significant issues with those high winds. For Saturday, another trend regarding snow is that while the super strong winds on Friday crush the snow crystals, well, Saturday and Christmas Day snow look very efficient for fluffy snow. So the snow could pile up very quickly with your snow squalls. The lake effect snow band will remain almost stationary through Saturday, affecting the same areas as Friday and Friday night before shifting southward on Saturday night. Storm total snow amounts will be almost entirely from the lake effect snow, with 1 to 3 feet of snow expected northeast of Lake Erie. Amounts will drop off dramatically outside of the band, although lake snow will carry quite far inland due to the strong winds, with some upslope enhancement across the higher terrain. Even though winds will diminish later Saturday from southwest at 35 miles per hour, with gusts to 55 miles per hour at dawn, to southwest at 30 miles per hour, with gusts to 50 miles per hour by dusk Saturday, there will still be considerable blowing and drifting snow, especially in open areas. It will be quite cold, with Saturday's high ranging from the single digits over the southern tier to the teens and low 20s elsewhere, with wind chills falling to 0 in lake effect areas to as low as 10 to 20 degrees below 0 elsewhere. Again, this is why any power outages that last for longer periods of time could have a bigger impact. Christmas Day promises to remain cold, with highs only in the teens in the southern tier to low 20s in the snow squall areas and Niagara frontier, with west winds to 25 miles per hour sustained, with gusts to 40 miles per hour, generating wind chills of 10 below to just a few degrees above 0. This will keep the lake effect snows most focused near or just south of Buffalo into the south towns. So we should continue to see several inches of snow throughout this time. This could be our coldest Christmas Day since 2004, when it was 16 degrees for a high and 3 degrees for a low temperature. Let's talk about the snowfall totals that will be expected. This is starting on Thursday through 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, nothing. Through 1 a.m. Friday, December 23rd, there's nothing. And then as we go to 7 a.m. on Friday, notice some snow is starting to creep into the southwestern part of New York State. By 1 o'clock on Friday, December 23rd, the band of snow now 2.4 inches in Buffalo. Already, the lake effect band is setting up on the map here, and it's extending into the north towns to about Tonawanda Creek, where the heart of the band is, going from North Buffalo through Kenmore into Amherst, Clarence, Akron, into southern Niagara County, and also into northwestern Genesee County and parts of Orleans County. As I move through another 6 hours, by 7 o'clock at night, Buffalo already 8.6 inches of snow. If you're looking at this, the pink areas are above 6 inches, the dark blue about 4, the light blue going down to 1 inch. The gray colors are nothing. So as we go on another 6 hours to 1 o'clock on Saturday morning, Banff is still in that same spot. Buffalo up to 18.7 inches of snow. This is a blend of all the National Weather Service models. Still fixed in the same area. If I put my cursor here, all these snowfall amounts, 18, 20 inches, bullseye, looks like Amherst and Clarence. If I go another 6 hours to 7 o'clock on Saturday morning, 22.4 inches of snow here in Buffalo. We have another contour has 24 inches in this narrow contour band. Same bullseye, going to be in the same location. By 1 o'clock on Saturday, 25.7 inches in Buffalo. Over 2 feet in most of that heavy lake effect snowband area, with lesser amounts just outside of it in both directions. By 7 o'clock on Saturday, 27.8 inches in Buffalo, getting deeper. But the band here is going to start to shift to the south on Christmas Day at 1 o'clock in the morning. 29.8 inches of snow in Buffalo. And as we go through 7 o'clock Sunday morning, 30.5 inches of snow. But the band is slowly shifting to the south after doing its damage in the heart of the metropolitan area. 1 o'clock on Sunday, still 30.7 inches of snow. So that only got 0.2 of an inch in the last 6 hours. So that's where it's ending. But let me run this through from the beginning, and you can see how this is stationary through Saturday evening. Then all of a sudden you can see how the snowfall events shift more to the south. The current hazards as of the evening of the 22nd of December. Let's start out with the red areas. These are the blizzard warnings. Of course, the 4 counties in western New York: Erie, Niagara, Genesee, Orleans. Also in the Watertown area. Then you're going to have another set of blizzard warnings to the lee of Lake Michigan in Michigan, around the Great Lakes and Lake Superior, Upper Peninsula of Michigan, the northern 2/3 of Iowa, most of southern and western Minnesota, just about all South Dakota, most of North Dakota. The pink areas are the winter storm warnings. That's going to be for much of, there's a little bit here in the Northwest and around Seattle and Western Washington and Western Oregon. And also coming back east, we have around the Twin Cities area have a winter storm warning in Minnesota, and then most of Wisconsin, the southern third of Iowa, Illinois, the eastern and southern part of Missouri, Indiana, western 2/3 of Kentucky, Ohio from Cincinnati through Columbus, through Akron, and then into Erie and Crawford counties in Pennsylvania. And then let's take a look at the purple areas, which are winter weather advisories. And in New York State, they're for Allegheny, Livingston, Ontario, Wayne, and northern Cayuga counties, as well as parts of the Catskills, and western Pennsylvania, eastern Ohio, most of West Virginia, eastern Kentucky, going down through the Great Smoky Mountains in North Carolina and Tennessee, the I-40 corridor in Tennessee, through Memphis and northern Mississippi, most of Arkansas, the extreme eastern third of Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas. Freeze warnings are stretching all the way through central and west Texas, southern Texas. Freeze watches are in central Florida from the Space Coast to Tampa down to almost Lake Okeechobee. And the tan colors are denoting high winds. And of course, this is in the eastern 2/3 of Texas, South Texas, most of Louisiana, along the Gulf coastal states of Mississippi and Alabama, through most of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, into Pennsylvania, New York State, and all the way up into Maine, and a lot of the New England states. The green are flood watches, flood warnings, and coastal flood warnings. And the coastal flood warnings extend from the tip of Maine all the way through Boston, Cape Cod, through Connecticut, New York City, Long Island, New Jersey, Delaware, the Delmarva Peninsula. We have some flood watches in Maryland and eastern Virginia, northeastern Virginia, as well as along, it looks like Poughkeepsie, through parts of eastern Vermont and the southern half of New Hampshire and parts of Maine. I also want to mention that out in the Pacific Northwest, we do have an ice storm warning in Oregon. We also have some winter weather advisories in the other parts of Oregon and Washington, northern Idaho, and western Montana. So if I was traveling, for people traveling anywhere in the red, the purple, or the pink, do not go. Okay, very, very hazardous conditions, very challenging, especially the red. You will not make it. Other areas of the country look good. Same thing for planes landing. And finally, what I'd like to talk about is what the extended forecast is giving. And the extended forecast for, look at this, for the rest of the country for the 28th of December through New Year's Day, which is the beginning of the new year. For the next 6 to 10 days, the temperature probability, everybody in the country is going to be above normal. Western New York, much above normal. We could expect maybe by the New Year's Day weekend, temperatures to be in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees, melting most of this snow for the next 8 to 14 days. Look at the bullseye here. That's going all the way out to January 5th, 2 weeks from now. They're calling for us to be, well, geez, crazy temperatures above normal. So in the 50s, this should all, practically all this snow should go away. And precipitation-wise, the next 6 to 10 days from the 28th of December through January 1st, everybody's going to be, most of the country, wet, above normal precipitation, except New England. A big bullseye over California and Nevada, but they could use, of course, the rain with their drought situation out west. And for the next 2 weeks after that, all the way through January 5th, the whole country is going to have above normal precipitation, but especially California and Nevada. But like I said before, they need it. And we're going to have above normal precipitation. So after this cold snap here, for the next week to 2 weeks going out, going to be above normal temperatures and above normal precipitation. If you want to see more of these posts or would like to say things for this one, please consider becoming a supporter. To support the channel, go to patreon.com/WX This is Jack Knack, the weather medic, the doctor of weather. Good day, everyone.
Weather bug. Your backyard.